thank you everybody for coming here this morning. I thought there might be 6 or so of us, so I think this is a wonderful crowd and everybody coming out here today. Thank you so much. It's really my pleasure to introduce Nick Selch to you. I met Nick, we were thinking this morning about this, I think I met him about a half dozen years ago when I had yet another fundraiser at my house. And Nick walked in the kitchen door and really contributed in his conversation as well as in his means helping other candidates, and he's always been there for us, out on the street doing door-to-door work, writing a check when he could, giving advice to candidates when he could. So he's a person who we've always appreciated in Lancaster Township, where he and I are both committee people. So with that, it's really my pleasure to introduce to you today Nick Selch.
Good morning, and thank you, Sally, and thank you for my Hempfield Democratic team, who's been my campaign team getting started here, and thank you to Mark and Cindy for letting us use your space. I'm Nick Selch, and today I'm announcing that I'm running as a Democrat for Lancaster's 41st House District seat. Pennsylvania can be an excellent place for our families, but only if our citizens have good education, health care, and good job opportunities. That means we need to build a community where access to jobs, health care, and education is available to everyone, not just a few. But we can't have that kind of state when our legislators play power games and our citizens lose out. We deserve to live in a state where our elected officials do not accept budget gridlock. We deserve to live in a state where oil and gas producers are taxed for extracting our natural resources. We deserve to live in a state where citizens, particularly our seniors, are not crushed by property taxes. These issues are real, the people are real, just like you and me and our neighbors. I was speaking recently to one of my neighbors, father of one of my McCaskey students, and he told me his most important issue at this point is his property tax bill. He says it's a killer. His wife and he are now retired, and his property tax bill is hundreds of dollars more than just a few years ago. Throughout the 41st, property taxes have gone up more than 12% since 2010. How much of income's gone up over that period? Given the state budget gridlock, how much more are school taxes going to increase this year? I want to work with Governor Wolf to get the budget passed before the June deadline, not 6 months later. What we don't need is more of the same, which is not paying bills, ruining Pennsylvania's credit rating, and destroying the trust of citizens. Another friend of mine runs a group home under a contract with the state and the county. He told me in August that he hadn't gotten paid since June. Why didn't the state pay up? When current legislators refused to pass the budget, all contracts paid for by the state, including to the group homes, got nothing. Contracts weren't honored, and no payments were made until January, close to 8 months without pay. Who can survive without pay for 8 months? He had to pay the counselors and the food bills and the rent and his other employees. So what did he do? He just had to pay it out of his own pocket. And I can't believe it, $21,000 each month. That's what he wasn't getting, and that's really got to stop here. It's time, the same thing for school districts, libraries, treatment centers, mental health facilities, even the state universities. They have to spend down their savings if they're lucky enough to have them, or borrow and pay interest that should be going to public services. That has to stop. And they still haven't passed the budget in Harrisburg. Now our school districts are trying to figure out where the money's coming from to pay for the rest of the school year, let alone for next year. What choice does the school district have? Is it going to raise property taxes, cut even more curriculum and educational programs? Which one? Here in Hempfield, the school district has just announced that they're going to need to do $21 million worth of building repairs. They're trying to figure out where they're going to get the money. The state needs a budget. I came here 30 years ago to work for RCA after I got my MBA at Northwestern in Chicago. I helped start Cardinal Technologies, which became a multi-million-dollar microelectronics company, which was then sold to a founder of Microsoft. Mark and I worked there. While at Cardinal, I met my wife Jean, 9th generation Lancastrian, and we raised our 2 daughters, Catherine and Susanna. I've always been involved in the sales and marketing business. I fulfilled one of my dreams to teach when I got a teaching job, teaching English as a second language at Hand Middle School in the city, and later I taught civics at McCaskey. I taught kids how to participate in the civic life of their community, how government works, and what I see is that the government of Pennsylvania is not working now. Teaching hundreds of kids each year in our community showed me the very real needs and expectations of thousands of families here. These are the same needs and concerns across the 41st and across the state. Good schools, good places to live and work, good job opportunities, promising future for our families. The government can and should play a very important role in helping us achieve these things, and that's why I'm running for the 41st.